Welcome to free MBA classes. So today we'll start with the one subject that is called a decision science. So in the last video, I discussed about the mean, variance, standard deviation, how to utilize. I given the some examples also like how to find out that mean, standard deviation, variance. So that formulas and calculation part I shown to you. So today we'll come to the another chapter that is called as the correlation. As the name suggests, so correlation it'll be like it'll be contain the two words. One is the core and relation. So it'll be like I am telling that it'll be relationship between one or more variables. Like if we'll take one variable and how is the other variable related to it. So we'll study about here. So if you'll come for the definition, it is a statistical tool which will use to measure the relationship between the two or more variables such that the movement of one variable is accompanied by the movement of another. So that is called as a correlation. So let's first we have to know how to find the relationship between the two variables. Suppose I took one example, that is the student height and weight. Suppose one people's height is more, the weight is also according to that will be increased. So if you plot some graphs according to that height and weight, so you can see there are multiple graphs I made and according to the multiple values. So you can see that one. So it will be nothing but the one of the correlation analysis between the two variables, that is height and another is weight. So let's come to know like what is positive correlation. So positive correlation, it is a like a as the name suggests, it is a like a positive value or increase of value. So positive, the value of the two variables deviate in the same direction. If the height is increasing, weight also it will increase according to that. So it will one of the example like I can take as a positive correlation. So if like if we increase in a value of the one variable result on an average, in correspondence to that it will increase the other values as well. So you can see here like the two arrows is going off. So one value is increasing means according to that second value also increase. So that is called as the positive correlation. So positive correlation is the some examples I given also. Like you can take as the education level and salary potential. So some have the more education, so obviously the salary potential will increase. If some people are suffer from the depression and suicidal tendency, if will take, that is also one of the example. Like if more people are depressed, the suicidal tendency increase according to that. And if we'll another example, if we'll take like household income and expenditure. So if the household income will be increased, the expenditure according to that will increase. So both are going in the positive direction or both are in the same direction. So that we take as the positive correlation. The in statistics, the positive correlation represented by the value is plus one. I'll explain that one, how to find out that value. So positive correlation are taken as the plus 1.00. The point lies close to the straight line and have the positive gradient, because as the one value is increasing, another value is also increasing. So the whatever the graph it will come as a straight line. So next come to the negative correlation. Negative correlation just reverse of that. If the one value is increasing, other value is decreasing. So here you can see the one arrow is going up and another arrow is coming down. So the value of two variables are deviate in the opposite direction. That means the if an increase in the value of the one variable result in an average in corresponding to that will decrease the other values, so that is called as the negative correlation. So let's take some of the example. Like one is the price and demand of good. If the price will increase, the demand of the good will decrease. Depression and self-esteem. If the depression will increase, the self-esteem will decrease. Then another one example is the amount of exercise and percentage of body fat. If we will increase the amount of exercise, physical exercise, so the percentage of the body fat will come down. So that is called as a negative correlation. And in this one also, like it is represent the value as minus 1.00. So in the positive correlation we have the plus 1.00, and in the negative correlation we have the value of minus 1.00. Then we have to find what is the correlation coefficient. So correlation coefficient is the like most of university they are asking to find the correlation coefficient. It is one of the important questions in all of the university MBA exams. So let's start with that. First we have to know in the correlation coefficient how to find out that is the R, then summation of xy, and minus summation of x y, then root of x square summation, then minus x square. I'll tell you how to find out, then y square and summation of y. So this all the things like we have to find out by this formula. So how to utilize the formula, I'll let you know. So in this correlation coefficient, it will be like the we are doing the null hypothesis test. That is, R is significantly different from the zero. Like the mean and standard deviation, R is strongly affected by the outlier and the sample size. And if we'll come for the correlation coefficient, as I told, like we have the two type of correlation, one positive and negative. And so unitless always in between. What is the correlation coefficient will come? It will be come in between minus 1 to 1, and the closer to 1 is a stronger or positive linear relationship, and if it is closer to minus 1, the stronger the negative linear relationship, and if it is closer to 0, it is weaker any positive or negative relationship, because the 0 is the middle point of between the 1 and minus 1. So the extreme value of plus 1 minus 1 indicate the perfect linear relationship. And if we'll come for some example, like if we'll come at 0.1 to 0.3, it is a weak. It's 0.4 to 0.7, it is moderate, and 0.8 to 1.0, it is called as strong correlation. So here some of the examples of the correlation coefficient. So as I told, if it is coming near to minus 1, so it is obviously it will come as a strong negative correlation, so which is minus 0.91, which is just 0.09 lesser than the minus 1. So obviously it is a strong negative correlations. And if we'll compare the strong positive correlation, so we can consider like 0.88 or 0.9, because it is just near to our 1, so it will called as a strong positive relationship. And if we'll compare the weak positive relationship, it will be like 0.32, because it is just near to 0, so it will called as the weak positive correlation. And if it is just near to 0, means fully near to 0, like 0.07, So we can tell this one as a non-linear correlation. So let's start with the formula. I already told the formula, but apart from that one, we have to know the in that formula what all the things are there. So it will be a like, clear understanding of this formula. So I took as rxy because I am taking the relationship between the two variable. So I written the rxy. So the correlation coefficient is the linear relationship between the variable x and y. Then I wrote xi. Xi is nothing but the value of the variable in a sample, and x bar is the value of the like variable mean. We have to find out that mean. We have to find out, and yi is the value of the y variable in the sample, and y bar is the mean of the variable y variable. So let's to understand better to make it understood understand the things better. So let's do some example. So I took one problem. So let's solve this one so we can able to understand all the things properly. So I took the two companies. One is the S&P 500 and Apple. So John is an investor. So John is an investor means he is investing on the different companies. So his portfolio primarily track the performance of the S&P 500, and John want to add the stock of Apple company. Before adding the Apple to his portfolio, he want to access the correlation between the stock and the S&P 500 to ensure that adding the stock won't increase the systematic risks of his portfolio. So how to get that on like systematic risks of a portfolio? To find out that we require the to find the coefficient like correlation coefficient. So John gathered the following prices of the last like 5 year. He took the different pricing for the S&P company and Apple. So here is the multiple prices you can see in the screen. So John can determine the correlation of the price of the S&P 500 index and the Apple INC. So let's start the problem. So first of all, I told like we required in the formula like if we come to the formula, there is the first thing we have to find out the mean of the variable. So here the first of all here the I took S&P 500 X and Apple as Y. So first of all we have to find the mean of the two variable. So mean if we take how we'll do, we have to add all the 5 year data like 1691.75, 1977.80, 1884.09, 2151.13, 2519.36. This 5 data we have to add, then divide by here 5 year data, so divided by 5. So at last we got the mean as the 2044.83. Similarly I do for the Apple. So Apple have the 68.96, 100, 109.06, 102.18, 154.12, and I added all the things, then divided by 5. So I got the result as 108.89 as the mean. So next step, what you have to do for the so again before that I want to take you again to the formula screen. So we found out the mean. So first of all we have to minus the mean from the value of the variable. First we have to take the variable minus the mean. Then similarly y variable I took minus y mean. First we have to find out that one, and in the down also we have to find out the the x value minus x min square we have to make, like we have to add and square, like we have to take the minus then square then we have to add. Similarly we have to take the y minus min of y then square, then we have to add all the values. So that is the that we have to do. So let's come to here the step 3. So first we have to take the minus of the this one. So as we got the value is 2044 and we have to minus the thing like 1691.75 minus 2044.83. So it came as the minus 353.08 because 2044.83 is the higher value than the 1691. So you got the minus value. And similarly, I done for the 1977.80. I made minus 2044.83. So I got the again minus value minus 67.03. Similarly, I found the all the values. So in the last value, I'll let me know like 2519.36. Again, we have to do the minus 2044.83. So we got the value as 474.53. So we got the all the a values. Here the it is a mix of positive and negative value. So we have to find out the like means we have to first we found the multiple value like minus and plus value. So similarly we have to find out the b value. So b value is nothing but like 68.96 minus 108.89. Again I got the minus value. So similarly 100.11 minus 108.89, I got the 8.78 minus, because the 100 minus 108, so obviously it will come minus 8.78. So similarly I found the multiple values of b. So next what you have to do, you have to find out the a into b, because we require the a into b value like in the formula. So let's again go to the formula, because here the a value is not nothing but the xi minus x bar, and b value is nothing but yi minus y bar. So first of all we have to find out the a and b, which is nothing but xi minus x bar, and b value is yi minus y bar. So let's come to that. So I found out a and b, so multiplication. So I done the multiplication all the values. So in that you can see here minus 160.74 into 0.17, obviously minus into plus, it is coming as the minus. So minus 27.97, this is the only minus value, other than that all are a plus, because here minus into minus is a plus, here also minus into minus is plus, and here in the down 106 3.929 is the plus and plus, so it will coming as a plus. So in the summation of all the value a into b, which is not nothing but the xi minus x bar into yi minus y bar. So this value summation I got the 36,472.40. Again we have to find out again another value is there in the formula. In the like in the down part you can see the xi minus x bar square and yi minus y bar square. So if you come to that, so xi minus x bar square we have to find out. So anyhow we found out the xi minus x bar as a and yi minus y bar is equal to b. So a square if you do, then here the minus square obviously it will come as a plus. So similarly I found all the value a square. Similarly here the minus 39.93 all the values again I have to make as the square. So I got the all the values, then I have to make the addition. So I got the result as some 391,474.35 and 3728.10. I got the a square and b square, which is the xi minus x bar square and yi minus y bar square summation. So two different values I got. So next, what you have to do, I wrote the formula here, xi minus x bar into yi minus y bar. So this multiplication we already got as the 336,472.40. So I just put the formula, and the second part I got the xi minus x bar square and yi minus y bar square summation. So I done the both the multiplication, and after doing the multiplication all the calculation I got the value as the 0.95. So 0.95 is just nearby 1. So we can take this one as the high positive correlationship. So the coefficient indicate that the price of S&P 500 and Apple Inc have the high positive correlationship. So this means there is the respective price tends to move in the same direction. Therefore, adding the Apple to his portfolio would in fact increase the level of systematic risk. So this is the result he got. Then we got the correlation coefficient. There is another things we have to find out. That is the probable error of correlation coefficient. The probable error, like anyhow we are doing the any statistical analysis. So obviously there is some error. So the probable error of correlation coefficient helps to determine the accuracy and reliability of the values of the coefficient that in so far depend on the random sampling. So probable error or PE is the value which is added or subtracted from the correlation coefficient to get the upper limit and the lower limit respectively, within which the value of the correlation expectedly lies. So let's find that formula. So as I told, like probable error of correlation coefficient is 0.6745 into 1 minus r square by root of n. N is the number of observation and r is the correlation coefficient. In the previous example, I already told like how to find out the correlation coefficient, and n value already we know. So just we have to put the value here 0.6745 into 1 minus r square. R square is the 0.95 square, then divided by what is the value, like a number of observation, a root. So we find the what is the probable error in our coefficient of the correlation. So this, up to this we learn like to find out the correlation coefficient and find the probable error on that. So let's close this this chapter here, and I'll let you know like whatever the new chapter I'll take in the next class. So I'll tell my viewers to find out the probable error. I already told the formulas, already told the values. So you find the what is the result of this, or what is how to find the answer, and please comment below. So thank you for the class. Bye.